on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonogo. The Aussie Open, the seats are falling. But then the man who says, I am the GOAT, the man who was chased out of Australia, yes, he was practically bundled out of Australia last year, is into the second week. Nadal is out. And then Medvedev, I mean, the man that I think is the modern day Ivan Lendl, the man who doesn't smile, the man who says, look, he thrives in hate. He's also home, unbeaten by Sebastian Korda. And that is another story entirely. Korda, if you remember Korda's father was Peter Korda, who also rose to the number 2 in tennis ranking, and has also won the Slam in Australia. His mother, rose up to number 26 in world tennis. So you tell me that here is the guy whose father and mother were all tennis players, and the sisters are golf players, because they've won the Australian PGA, the US PGA Championship by both Jessica and Nelly Korda. So it tells that the man who defeated Medvedev is just there. Sports runs in his vein, and let us see if that will propel him to where at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the tournament, if it will be Sebastian Korda that will be written on that. But for us Africans, it has not been a great tale. There was a kind of a run at that point in time where we say we look at the American and the Canadians, but those Americans and Canadians, of course, they have what we have here. Coco Gauff is out. Coco Gauff is out, and we thought, oh no. But looking at the male aspect, the man whose parents, mother and father left Sierra Leone and went to the U.S., Tiafoe is the man we're rooting for. Tiafoe, Francis Tiafoe is also knocked out, haven't got into the third round. We have, Felix Auger, and this guy also, his parents are from Togo, so you can understand, Nigeria, Togo here, and then Felix is also out. But the one that touched us most, what I get that euphoria most and foremost is that, we've been celebrating for a very long time. We were saying Nduka, this is the Duke of Wimbledon, how years ago the man rose, to that 4th round in Wimbledon. I said, can we see a Nigerian ever do it? And then here comes Michael Moore. For those of you who follow tennis, his father is Tony Moore, who not just played tennis but represented Nigeria at that level, and the man went over there and did one of the greatest results came out from the from Australia when he sent Zverev out of the championship. I was saying, here is Michael Moore doing it for America, doing it for Nigeria, and saying the Nigerian kids, you have a lot of African children, you have a lot of inspiration. Ons Jabeur is also out, so it's a lot of things. But then the Africans did show that they could go somewhere. We thought, with Jabeur getting to the finals of Wimbledon, and the US, I said, this is where, she was going to do it. But, that was not what really happened. So we'll talk a lot of Australian Open. We'll look at the results. Tsitsipas is right now taking on Sinner. Tsitsipas took the first 2 sets. And we thought, wow, it was going to be a 3-set, just a 3 straight set. But somebody has come back to take the, the third, Sinner take the 3rd set. And it's also, hide in the 4th set. So probably we're looking at a 5-setter here between Yannick Sinner and Tsitsipas, the man, the Greek god. So a lot is happening in Australia, but the target is number 22. One man has 22. The other man says, I deserve more than 22, but let me get to 22 first, and that man is the Joker, Djokovic. So for you tennis buff, this is the first World Cup. Tennis has 4 World Cups in a year, not like football. They have the Australian Open, they have the Roland Garros, the French Open, they have Wimbledon, and then Open right there at in the US Open, So basically, that is what is talking about tennis. We've been talking about boosting our own. The Nigerian Premier Football League is on this is week 3. They've started taking all the challenges, but after all that, the house is settling down. We've been seeing some fantastic results. I don't truly believe that away wins, because we have away wins, it is now said that it is fair. You can cheat the home team. All we want to say that it doesn't really matter whether you are playing at home or playing at home. Let there be a level playing field. Let the officiating be fair. Let the players be protected. Let the officials be protected. Let families come and enjoy themselves. That is what we are trying to do. Trying to expand the horizon. Try to bring in new fans to join, and watch our football the way we are watching what is going to happen at the Emirates when Arsenal take on Manchester United. I'm not thinking about that one yet. I'm not thinking about that one yet. So, but the IMC, the good news is that the NFF president, Gusu, has just extended their tenure. So that means instead of just 3 months, say you take your time, run the show till the end of the season, so that you have enough time to put things in shape and get it done. Anything you want to do before you transit and make an election for the new board to come in, and not the interim now, but the permanent board for those who have football, those who own football, to run their football as it's done all over the world. So that will be happening. Along the globe, football has been going on all over Europe. Boxing is on too, and all that. And then also there is the story of Usain Bolt. We'll talk about that. America, you just can't collect $10 million from somebody's account. Even the guy is worth about 61 million. It doesn't really matter. You think he will not find out, but the guy has been crying. He's not been crying out. He's not been sending subtle tweets to say this is what is happening to me, and that is it. But then today, this show, we are going to run this show from Germany. We are going to run. I have two Germans, one German Nigerian and one German. I have guys who are going to do this. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? This is the age of the social media. This is the age where I'll be here. I know what Al Nassr and Al Hilal played. This is the age where I can tell you what PSG is doing and stuff like that. But then how are we catching up on that? So I have the pleasure. Let's go straight to Germany first. Omar is there, but let Omar wait. Let's if Mario is ready. Let's start with Mario Leo. Mario Leo is the CEO of Result Sports. Hello, Mario. Mario, how are you?
Hi, Ken Ochinogo. Hi. I'm very well, and it's a true privilege to come on the show today, and hopefully everything will go smooth on that side. And I look forward to the conversation, also discussing with Omar social media activity. So it's going to be an exciting show, and I'm honored and glad to be on the show today.
Yes, Mario is making his second debut on the show, and then Mario, whenever Mario wants to come on the show, we call it a truce, and say what is happening. So let's go back, because Omar is also there, and both of them are in Germany. Let's meet Omar, and that is my wonderful bureau that I'm always proud of. Omar, how are you?
Yes, good morning. Good morning to your viewers. Good morning to Nigerians and anyone watching the show right now. I'm very, very happy to be on the show this Sunday afternoon, and especially because you'll be talking about social media, something that has become an integral part of everything we do today, and of course a key part of football, because I mean that's basically what controls everything now. And I've been part of conversations, where they talked about social media and its impact on football clubs, and I kept wondering when Nigeria would meet up. I was at the World Football Summit in Sevilla last September, and they were actually talking about metaverse. I'm sure Mario understands what I'm talking about, and I was wondering, we are still struggling with current internet, and the Western world is already going to the next level of metaverse. And it's incredible. It's a very interesting topic, and I hope I'll be able to sink my teeth into this one.
Okay, I stay with you, Omar. I stay with you, Omar, because we can't talk about social media. We're talking about the man that typifies, the man that epitomizes social media. No other person, the most follow. He has the most followership. He has followership more than leagues, not even club, more than leagues joined together. And you have the pleasure of watching him and watching, the goats on display right there in Saudi Arabia. Before Mario tell us the impact of social media on that particular match, on that particular game, can you just tell us what happened right there in Saudi Arabia? Omar, and you went there as a photographer, mind you. Did you take some pictures?
Anyway, photographer, reporter, the most important thing is to be at that event and witness history. Yeah. Because perhaps it was the last game where Messi and Ronaldo shared the same pitch. I must say that it was a very great event. It was a very exciting event put together by the Saudi Arabians. I think that they understand the power of football. They are using football to drive attention to their country. They are using football to attract the world's attention Before that match was played, two big games were also played in Saudi Arabia. Newcastle played the Inter Milan, AC Milan played the Super Copa Italia.
Exactly.
And of course, Barcelona and Real Madrid. So
yes.
it's an event that is used to celebrate actually the best time to visit Saudi Arabia and its tourism prowess, which is called the Riyadh season. And of course, they incorporated football into it because they understand the power and the impact of football. And of course, bringing some of the biggest stars from Europe. And of course, with Ronaldo, who is already in Saudi Arabia, they wanted to basically tell the world that it's time to focus on Saudi Arabia with a vision to host the World Cup maybe in 2030. It was a massive, massive experience for me, going to Saudi Arabia for the first time, experiencing the Arabian hospitality, experiencing the Arabian style, calmness, and the friendliness of the people. And of course, the treatment of journalists was different. We were taken to the stadium in a very executive shuttle bus from the from a very
don't make me jealous. Go on. Oh my God.
And of course, the general organization of the game, the crowd, everything was very amazing to see. And I must say, it was a very beautiful experience for me to watch a football game, an exhibition game, yes, but it was a beautiful game in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, before we go to Mario, two things, Omar. You watch Odion Jude Ihalo. How proud were you when you saw him, rubbing shoulders with the greatest of the greatest? And also cap that in. You slightly chipped in 2030. Are we seeing a project Messi that will be in Saudi Arabia to rival, having both of them there? Let me just pick your brain a little on those two aspects.
Let me start with Messi. I was actually in a taxi, and the taxi driver was telling me about how I must learn the Saudi Arabian culture.
Yes, yes.
Even try to learn the religion. And I said to him, if you pay me what you're paying Ronaldo, I will convert to Islam. And he laughed, and he said, if you bring Messi to Saudi Arabia, we'll pay you all that money.
Wow.
And that is already telling you how much they dream about this. They have Ronaldo already. You can imagine the impact Ronaldo's presence in that country, is having on the league and the country and their image in general. So imagine adding Messi to that list. It will be completely out of this world. And of course, there are people already talking about it, saying that Al Hilal, who are also rivals to Al Nassr, both based in Riyadh, are looking to bring Messi and pay him double what they are paying Ronaldo, to basically cause some kind of confusion. That will be absolutely humongous. But I don't see that happening now. Maybe in 2 years' time, Messi is still enjoying top-flight football. He's still playing in the Champions League. He still wants to break records and win the Champions League for PSG, because that's the main objective for the French champions. So that may not happen now, but perhaps maybe sometime sometime 2 years down the line, it might happen. If Ronaldo could go down to Saudi Arabia, hey, who says that Messi
cannot go?
Can't go there exactly when he gets to the end of his career. Coming to Jude Igalo, unfortunately, he was injured. He couldn't feature in that game. Otherwise, he would have paired Ronaldo, because he is one of the leading scorers in the Saudi Arabian league. And of course, by so doing, would have been the guy pairing Ronaldo up front. His teammate, Marega, who also plays for his team, Moussa Marega of Mali, paired Ronaldo up front in that game. But Igalo was still on the bench. His name was on the bench. Unfortunately, he couldn't feature. But I saw him after the game, and he took me to their beautiful training ground, introduced me to club management. It was such a beautiful experience, because for the first time, I watched the team train. And while watching the team train, I was served coffee, tea, chai.
It's okay. Oma, it's okay. Oma, it's okay. Oma, it's okay.
So it was generally a beautiful experience.
All right. Okay, let's go to Mario. Mario, you've been listening to Omar, giving that, and then you have worked. You on your own. You have worked a lot on this. Mario is the CEO of Result Sports, and I tell you this: they follow every club in the world. Well, if your club is a football club, tell you Result Sports follows them. So this is the encyclopedia. This is the modern data that we are having here on this show today, with us today. Mario, what is the social media impact? You sent me certain figures of what happened when Al Hilal and Al Nassr 11 faced PSG. Can you give us those things? What did you witness, and what are you still witnessing? Because it's like it is still happening, since that event that game took place.
No, absolutely, Ken, and you're definitely right. I mean, social media is where the conversation is taking place. Social media is where the buzz is taking place. Omar explained it very well, that the news transport from the venue, from the stadium, right into the last corner of the world, and that's what social media provides. So many media houses and publishers could have decided to be social media the enemy of the world, but you should not be the enemy. I mean, Omar makes it very well, and you described it. I mean, Omar's got more followers than possible, not in Yimba, but many of the NPFL teams.
We shall look at that.
All of them.
I know, but this is what's happening, and 72 hours of the game. So the build-up of the game, Saudi Pro League or Saudi All-Stars versus PSG, then the actual match day in 24 hours. In those 72 hours, PSG gained 1.3 million followers around the world. 1.3 million. I mean, I would wish that the Nigerian NPFL plus the Super Eagles kind of get to those numbers in those very, very same minutes, and we're going to talk about that very shortly. But the numbers are crazy. I mean, PSG had about 5 million video views on YouTube and across their social media channels just after the match. The match obviously was a fantastic game. It was 5-4. Omar can tell more about the atmosphere and the environment, and also obviously the way it was positioned. And rightly so, Omar said, it's about positioning Saudi Arabian sports. Getting to know the teams. Nobody in the Western world, nobody in the African world or the South American world, where football is really number one, or even Southeast Asia, knows the 12 teams of the Saudi Pro League. So the goal and the objective of all these activities is, first of all, making the Rohan Pro League known. Secondly, obviously, Al Nassr as being the club for Cristiano Ronaldo. And obviously, Saudi Arabia has realized that this is not possible with the Vincent Abu Kappa, with the Talisco, with smaller names. They need the big names. They need the social media power, because from 2010 to 2016, growth on social media was very easy. But now the social platforms kind of limit the growth, limit the impact. And only on TikTok you can fly by and gain followers in the hundreds of thousands in a very short time. All the other platforms, or the majority of platforms, does have limitations on growing. So Al Nassr fully understood that. The Saudi Sport Fund kind of understood that. And obviously now the key is, how do I get my teams known? How do I get the league known? How do I get the best football played in my league? And that's going to be taking 3, 4, 5 years' time. But obviously the friendlies against PSG, because we should not forget that within PSG, there are 4 players who combine 1 billion followers on social media. Messi, Mbappe, Neymar Jr., and Sergio Ramos. Those 4 players alone have 1 billion followers on social media.
God.
Just these 4. So Ronaldo combined 700 million. So he's the ultimate leader of the pack, but he's being chased by the majority of others. And obviously PSG, when they buy the team, they also look at social media following, because PSG does not want to be only a football club. PSG want to become a brand. Yeah, they want to design shirts. Yeah, they want to design clothes. They want to sell clothes. They just don't want to sell tickets, because Stade de France only have 55, 60,000 attendance, but they want 5 million suits to be sold. They want 5 million sweatshirts to be sold. They want to become a brand and manufacture it. So in 10 years from now, PSG is likely going to be a competitor of Puma or Adidas because people want to buy brands, and that's what we look into. And obviously the Saudi Pro League is part of the government. They understand that oil is running out in the next 30, 40 years, so the natural reserves are running out. So in order to attract guests to Saudi Arabia, it needs something very big. So they've decided, obviously, to build an independent golf tournament, the LIV Tour, which you already reported about, Ken. And now, obviously, it's the football. And football is the most loved sport around the world, and that's how you can attract interest to the audiences. But first of all, step one, how do I get my league known? How do I get my clubs known? And that's why big players will come and join the Saudi Pro League to make exactly that happening over the next year or two.
I don't want to imagine the presence of Messi, just like I discussed with Omar, what the presence of Messi will have if you have Messi and Ronaldo. Because I know Ronaldo will be there for another 3, 4, 5 years. What is he doing? They will just, his presence alone, look at him scoring 2 goals, Messi scoring. In the next 2, 3 years, Ronaldo can still be scoring at least 10 goals in the league, if he keeps himself fit, which he still be. But let us look at this. I want us to look at, he just said the 4 players in PSG have a combined 1 billion followership right there, on the social media. But look, let's look at the most the most followed clubs are in social media, because we have some figures here, and then so that we can see how we can come in, because you and Omar, you owe us on how you said Omar followership. There is no club in Nigeria that has the highest club on Twitter is Enyimba. Enyimba does about 89,000 followers. Omar has over 100,000 followers. So Omar has more followership than the most followed club in Nigeria on Twitter. We shall look at those figures here now. But let's look at it. That makes you. So want to look at. I see if it is possible. Let us see if we can get those figures first. Let us look at the follow. Let us look at how this is Real Madrid, and then that is the followership of Real. Real Madrid is the most followed club. In the world. They have. Real Madrid has 46.5 million for the social followers on Twitter, as the most followers, and that they are followed by Barcelona. Barcelona has 46 million followers. Real Madrid 46.5 million, about 500 difference. Manchester United is the third one with 34.7 million followers. Liverpool. Chelsea after Man United, but you can see the 2 Madrid club have 46 million, and the next following them is Manchester United 34, which is about 12 million less. So you can see what they are doing. Manchester United have 34.7 million followers on Twitter. Chelsea 23.8 million. Liverpool slightly next to Chelsea with 23.2 million. Arsenal 21 million. We now have Manchester City further down, that's Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea 23 million. 23.8 is what they are having. If you follow that down to Liverpool, Liverpool has 23.2 million. Arsenal 21 million. Manchester City 14.9 million. And PSG, you can imagine, this is the irony of it, Mario and Omar. PSG on Twitter, they just have about 13.8 million. And then, so when you say how many followers that that Mbappe, how many followers that Sergio Ramos, Neymar Jr. has, these are clubs that have more than than what they are. Now, to do that, let us see what Nigerian clubs have, gentlemen, because that is where our focus will be on today. That's where you have the jobs you want to do. Omar, stop smiling, because I know that whatever it is. Omar, stop. Let's see the Nigerian figures. Let's see what we have what Nigerian clubs have on Twitter. Enyimba is number 1 with 89.7 million. 89,700 followers. That is 89.7 followers that they have. Followed by Rivers United. Rivers United have 51,000 followers. They have 51,000 followers. That was they have. Sunshine Stars is number 3 at Akure. They have 44.7 for the 44,000 followers. Almost 48,000. Then Kwara United have 39,000 followers. Lobby Stars 34.8. That's almost 35,000 followers. Then Remo Stars are doing well. They have 26. That is okay. That's Remo Stars. They have 26.7 thousand followers. That's almost 27,000. Aqua have 24.4. Aqua United, they have 24.4. Abia Warriors have 21,000 followers. But 3SC is where we have challenges. I think 3SC would have had more followers because I think 3SC actually needs some rebranding. Because if you look for 3SC on Twitter, you are not going to see them. They're going to see Shooting Stars. And then their Twitter handle is at Oluyole Warriors. I don't understand. I mean, probably they should have, it is 3SCs. For the past 10, 15 years, they are known as 3SC. So Shooting Stars, of course, the 3SC is Shooting Stars Sports Club, SSSC. We understand that? Yeah, we understand that. So we want to go on a short break. Well, gentlemen, Omar, Mario, we want to go on a short break. When we come back, we shall look at these figures, and you tell us how you expect our Nigerian club to grow their social media, because somebody getting 1 million in a day, in 3 days, while our highest follower is 89,000, which is Enyimba approaching 90,000 followers, since their existence, after having 2 times African champions back to back, and they have less than 100,000 followers on Twitter. We're going on a short break. When we come back, gentlemen, you will join us by the guys in the house. It is Channel Sport on Sunday. Okay, you're welcome back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday. We're having the conversation on the impact of the social media on club, especially the NPFL clubs, Nigerian Premier Football League clubs. And that is what we are saying, how do they make themselves known? How do they reach out? How do they communicate with their fans? How do they gain more fans? So that, we are here supporting Manchester United, supporting Arsenal. There is a communication channel between ourselves and those clubs. We see what they do. They unveil their players. They put their results. They put all those things. And that is what it is. We want to know here. And clubs gain by your social interaction. We know how much Cristiano Ronaldo makes for every social media post he made. Whether it's on on Twitter or on Instagram, he makes money. So these are the things we are saying. Our clubs, how much they are known. We've been going through before we went on break, but let me just, before I introduce my guy, bring them in back. They are here in the house. We just have to look at just like we said on. How on the rankings of our teams, how they are, because we see, of course, Dakada has about just 114 followers on Twitter. Bayelsa United has 600 followers on Twitter. 600 followers. If Bayelsa United have been champions of Nigerian League, 600 followers on Twitter. These are not the things that we are talking about here. We are going to look. Of course, Doma is just coming. They have 667. Nasarawa United, less than 300 followers. 288 for Nasarawa United. I mean, these figures do not tell, and it's not the story we want to tell. So before we go to Germany to meet the German contingent who have taken over this show today, Obe Majala's in the house. Obe, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ken, for having me. And your followership is more a reflection of your TV carriage, your Champions League experience. I'll talk about Madrid, Man United, 12 million discrepant figures. You talk of 14 Champions League to 3 Champions League. When you come to Nigeria, Enyimba, you said they won the Champions League. My friend got married the Saturday after that Friday, they won their 2nd Champions League, and the child today is in the university, so they don't even know that Enyimba, because it's been such a long time. Then you talked about Shooting Stars. These are teams who have never taken advantage of the e-commerce we have. The last time, I don't know if the situation has changed, but I think last year, people wanted their jersey, and they said you have to come to Ibadan between the hours of 9 to 5, when you can easily get this thing via e-commerce. So we have teams who don't post their result. Then majorly, thank God the league is back on TV, because what it means is only people who know your players that sort of want to follow, except people who are following for the sake of family tradition. So it's only people who watch like the 19 matches you play on home soil that will actually have that sort of attachment to those teams to follow the team. But whether with the advent of the league league on TV now, I think we should have a spike in those figures. And again, their Twitter handle is not, you don't only post when you are winning, when you are losing, also put it there.
In fact, I don't want to go into it, because some of these Twitter handles, they've not posted since 2020. So, I mean, the league has started, though. They have not posted, if I wanted to do that, to say, good, let us look back to the last time each of these clubs posted. Whatever. Okay, the Catalan is in the house. So, at a point, Barcelona had more followership than Real Madrid. Yes. He just mentioned, their success in Champions League. Yes. Has that helped to boost? Because, I mean, that is where people, the new followers want to go to the win. Whether you like it or not, if there is a share of people, followership, the winners will take more than those who will say, who am I want to follow?
Okay, good afternoon, Ken. Good afternoon, viewers. Good to be back again. Ken, the thing is, let's look at the World Cup final as an example. Within that period of the World Cup, I think 7 days after Messi won the World Cup, he gained about 10 million extra Instagram followers after winning the World Cup. About 10 million extra. Now, his picture that he posted, or the pictures he posted of him with the trophy, is currently the most liked picture on Instagram. I think it has about 76 or 75 million likes already on that platform. Now, the reason is because about 1,500,000,000 people, also 1.5 billion saw that World Cup final. What that meant was that even people that don't watch football saw the World Cup, like, okay, this is a World Cup final. Everybody's talking about it. For instance, I might not necessarily follow the Super Bowl, but whenever it's the Super Bowl final, you always know who is playing because of the amount of
the artists that will at the halftime,
who will be lining up and
play.
Exactly, you basically know the characters that will be featuring. So at that point in time, you go and check them out. But when this happened, obviously there will be a spike. So for every time Madrid wins the Champions League, it's almost a record, because they have one more Champions League than any other team. So whenever they win the Champions League, you see people always trooping. Okay, who's Real Madrid? Okay, they have this character that plays for them. Oh, look at Modric. Oh, Karim Benzema, you're not Ballon d'Or winner, and all of that. It's the hype and the news around it. Currently, big shout outs to Bendel Insurance, because I think their Twitter handle is, if not one of the most active currently at the moment.
Bendel Insurance, they have 6,280 people.
The team just coming back.
Just coming back. Yes, slightly,
and they've been active.
Yes, they've been very active. Slightly more followers than you at the moment, because in your own right, you're a superstar.
You're challenging me.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think I was listening. Before I came on set, I was listening to Omar talking about his experience in Saudi Arabia and all of that. It just got me thinking. Omar's always saying this on social media. So this life switch, but then again, I just imagine what the experience is like, and then having Cristiano Ronaldo currently playing. You see what he's doing for the country, what he's doing for the sports in general. Again, it's a really, really big deal, and I think we need to begin to take advantage of what's happening on social media right now.
Yes, we need to take advantage. When you sign the superstars, I think that is what the MSL did in the very first time when they went to carry the Brazilian idol, the Brazilian national treasure, that the government said this man shouldn't sign for another club. They took Pele, and Cosmos took him there to go and popularize the sport. In the just immediate past, we saw them also go to take David Beckham and took him there. We saw Turkey. Before Turkey played in the semi-final of the World Cup, they said, look, come in. Okocha was there. Ucho Kechuku, a lot of Nigerian contingent, Amokachi were all there. Tax-free. Come on, even Tafarel, the Brazilian World Cup winner, they all went to Turkey, and they say they made them tax-free, so that you can play with. I think when they train with you every day, the league gains space, the players gain experience, the national team becomes better, and stuff like that. Let's go to Germany. Omar, are you there? Let's go to Omar.
I'm here, I'm still here. and I'm enjoying the conversation. I like this topic because it's very critical in Nigerian football growth. And I'm very impressed by the analysis of Mario, how he has used quantitative data to basically analyze the situation. Without data, you cannot get the kind of result that you need. And I like the numbers, the figures that you also showed us. It tells you of how bad, how poor things are as far as football is concerned in Nigeria. It also tells you of the lack of effort, the lack of direction. Because why the results are not good is because the clubs themselves are not well set up. Because social media is a very critical part of every football club in the world right now, and they set up a complete department to run these activities. I am very familiar with how football clubs are run in the Western world, and now going all the way to Saudi Arabia, who are also not lagging behind because they understand the impact of social media. They are tapping into it and doing the right things, attracting stars. I like what Mario said. They tried with mid-level stars before now. And of course, it's had its impact, but they have decided to take it one notch higher by going for Ronaldo. And look at the impact already. Al Nassr Football Club's Twitter handle or Instagram followers went double the moment Ronaldo joined them. They gained over 5 million followers on Instagram, which is actually the biggest platform for football clubs. Mario was talking about that with me before we came back from the break, and I'm sure if he's still there, he will be able to throw more light on it. So generally, Nigerian clubs are not ready, because to do this, you have to set up a structure, you have to have the right persons, because growth on social media in itself is a specialty. You need people who understand how social media work, people who understand how to get the message across in the right manner. The content must be well done, because social media is about content creation. Nigerian clubs have not really understood what content creation is. It's a very complex topic. It's something that they actually need to go for training to first understand, and then know how to send the messages across, know how to gain followership, and then grow on social media. Because social media itself is something that it stands alone in football these days.
Omar, I want to stick with you a bit. Before you left for Germany, you were part of this. You were part of the local scene. I want to ask you, why do you think that the Nigerian football club or the administrators are afraid to talk about themselves? You know, a simple thing as gate takings, you will never. I think it was just about maybe Sunshine Stars and a few other clubs that did that a few years ago. They will tell you so and so number of places entered. The players that they sign, how much they pay, everything about them is in secrecy. That they can't even advertise themselves in their own Twitter handle. What do you think? What do you think is, you know, informed this kind of attitude? You know, by those who run football clubs in Nigeria?
First thing first, the question is, who are the people running football clubs in Nigeria? What is their pedigree? Are these people people who understand football as a business, or people who are serving political agendas? And the latter is the case, because most of the times you have people who don't even understand how a football club should be managed, who don't even understand what it means to be the head of a football club. A football club is a business concern, even though it is tied to the income stream of political organizations or state government. You can still run it like a business, because if you have all the support that you get from government, you should be able to set up the right structure and run a club with the right result and get data, get figures, because you need data to achieve any kind of result you want to achieve. You need to know how many people support the club. You need to know how many people are willing to invest 1,000, 10, 5 in buying the club's shirt. You need to know how many people are willing to come to the stadium to watch a football game and buy a ticket. When you have all of this quantitative data, you are able to press forward, because you have data that can help you to move forward. The question is, these guys who run these clubs, do they understand all of this at all? And the answer is more or less no. And that is why you see that our clubs itself, or our club themselves, are not progressive overall. Let's not even just talk about social media alone. The general management of Nigerian football clubs is absolutely shambolic. And that is coming from the top. They say when the head is rotten, the entire body will suffer. And that's the case with Nigerian football club. Because like you said, it is shrouded in secrecy. And that's because there is no transparency, there is no honesty, there's no genuinity in the way Nigerian football clubs are run. And that's why you have this situation, and it continues the way it is because till now, nobody is thinking in the right direction.
Okay, let's go to Mario before we come back to the house. Hello, Mario. Mario, are you there? Mario,
yes, Ken, I'm here.
Let us first give kudos, no matter how it is, to Lobby Stars. I think they have about 35,000 followers. Kwara United.
You need to celebrate that.
Kwara United have about 40,000 followers. Sunshine Stars 44,000 followers. Rivers United 51,000 followers, and Enyimba almost 90,000 followers. That's the top five. Enyimba with about 90,000 followers. Rivers United number 2, 51,000. Sunshine Stars 45,000. Kwara United 40,000, and Lobby Stars, who are there with about 35,000. Of course, not forgetting Remo Stars and Aqua United. So let me come back to Mario. Mario, we said, okay, these ones are, they've tried a little bit. What do what is the process? What do you expect them to do if they want to gain more followership, more presence, and reap the benefits of the social media? What should the Nigerian clubs do? How are they supposed to go about it?
Well, first of all, you need to set yourself targets. Exactly what Omar was saying. It's like if you just do social media for the purpose of doing social media without a plan, without a goal, without an objective, without strategy, you only rely on football results. Yeah, if you win, you grow your followers. If you lose followers because people are not interested into it because you don't have a strategy. So first of all, the strategy requires to be independent of the results on the weekend. That's the first thing to do. Because if you just depend on the results on the football pitch, it's something weird. So you need to have an overstretching, an overarching strategy. Where do I want to be in 2 years from now? Where do I want to be on Twitter? Where do I want to be on Facebook? Where do I want to be on Instagram? Where do I want to be on another platform if my resources can manage it? Because you see, the media department in football clubs in the NPFL, who is responsible for social media, they are a cost center. So they are limitedly staffed, limitedly resourced. Maybe the one head in the club at Enyimba, he's also the ticketing manager, or is also the team manager. And then, by the way, he manages social media. Omar stated it very right. Social media is an own discipline. Social media is an own category, an own department, and it's overarching strategy, because you see how many Nigerians left Nigeria, but still their heart is in Nigeria and their football interest is in Nigeria. But no football club attracts the audience outside Nigeria, and nobody even attracts the audience inside Nigeria. And that's what I said in our Godfather show, Ken, if you remember right. You see, the African champion, Wydad, is coming to River State, is coming to Port Harcourt, or is coming to River State. But you see, there's 3,000 souls in the stadium because the majority has not been even infiltrated. I know Sammy and Barrister Green, they run campaigns knocking at doors of people to give tickets, competitions to give away. But you see, how much time did Sammy and Barrister Green spend on these activities? Days, to do this. And in social media, to just approach the audience, it takes a second. It takes 10 seconds. It takes 5 minutes to reach many, many more doors than knocking and walking through the streets. So that's social media. So the power of social media is massively bigger than spending the time. So that's the first overarching goal. And when Rivers United goes on Facebook and goes on Instagram and goes on Twitter, they should highlight their events, their matches. Not only report about the games. Now it's kickoff. This is the starting 11. And then after the match, they won 2-0 or 2-1. Then it's silence until next weekend when the games comes on. But in this silence, all the European teams occupies the football fans in Nigeria, engage with the fans in Nigeria, and the fans in Nigeria more follow the Premier League and more follow the Bundesliga than the local leagues, because they say, hey, there are the stars playing in these leagues. I follow the stars because I want you cannot imagine, Ken, how many people approach me on Facebook, on Instagram, direct messages, being young talents in Nigeria, wanted me to help them to become a star in European football. And I said, well, the first thing you need to do is to become a star in the NPFL. Prove yourself in the NPFL.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Gentlemen, you just did there.
Let me just say something.
Briefly, yes.
Let me thank you. Let me thank you for bringing Mario on today's show. I've absolutely learned a lot. I feel blessed because when he talks data. When he talks solution. And that's what we need in Nigerian football. I hope that those watching now, those running football in Nigeria can latch on to Mario to help grow football from a social media perspective. It's very important, and we cannot be sleeping on this. Thank you, Mario. I'm blessed to have been on this show with you. And thank you, Ken.
Thank you for your kind words, Omar.
Did not turn up. But I thank God I listened to my instincts.
All right, we are going on another short break. When we come back, we shall open the lines and the viewers will join the show. You just stay with us. It is Channel Sport on Sunday. You have nowhere else to be on Sundays than to be on this show. You stay with us. Okay, you're welcome back. It's the Channel Sport on Sunday. And then I have Omar, I have Mario, the German invaders. They have invaded Channel Sport on Sunday today. And they are, they are picking our brains and, showing us the path that this is direction our clubs should follow. Because that is the path that the European clubs have followed. You learn from everybody. When you for you to succeed, I think the template for success is look at those who have been successful. If you follow that path, imbibe it, internalize it, and then I want to say let us just follow what they are doing in Europe, but let us look at our own areas and see how we can domesticate, we can make it the way so it can work for us. But right now, social media, since the age of the internet, it has no barrier. I can know what is happening in Australia than an Australian. There are people in Europe who know what is happening in Nigeria better than you in Nigeria because it is just on social media. But you just have to be responsible and be responsive. Today, Arsenal will play Manchester United. This is how it goes. If Arsenal scores, you will see the Arsenal Twitter handle. They will shout, goal! They will scream. If my dad scored, they say, my dad has scored. They will not be silent, but they will tell you. They are not celebrating it, but they will give you that information. That's what Mario is saying. It should not be a Sunday that are printing. It should not be that it's every Sunday, it's every time you are playing football match that your club will now come and go to show me that say, we are playing today. Well, okay, like better insurance have arrived to play Quara. Of course, insurance Twitter handle, kudos to you guys. You are doing a wonderful job right now. You are picking up the order. Reverse United, you are doing good. You've always been good in that aspect. But let us see how you can be consistent. That we are saying. The lines are open now. Join this show. We're not taking too many calls. Join the show. But let us just briefly look at what should be happening right now. The EPL League, let's go to look at what happened at the EPL. Of course, there are some matches today, but coming to this, we saw the scare that Manchester City went through.
Yes.
Against Tottenham Hotspur.
Against Tottenham Hotspur, Tottenham scoring 2 goals in about 2.5 minutes. That was the stroke of half-time. And then Manchester City, in typical Manchester City fashion that we used to know, not the Man City of this season, got back into the second half, and then Riyad Mahrez took it upon himself and literally changed the fortunes of the team. And that I saw it as 3 points lost by the end of first half. In fact, I didn't want to even put on the game, because in my mind, Manchester City is Barcelona's, in England, But I saw a team that wanted it, and this is literally the stuff that champions are made of. They came back in the second half, and then they did the needful. I saw Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland starting together. I think Pep has to find a way to incorporate both guys into his starting 11.
He dropped Foden and De Bruyne
and Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez. And these guys, they got the job done. I saw Gundogan and Rodri, running the midfield, and I was really, really impressed. Although the 2 goals from Tottenham basically hitting them totally against the run of play, but they came back and they did the needful. So the pressure will be on today when Arsenal take on Manchester United again. 2
teams in form. Arsenal and Manchester United. There is a belief in Arsenal now that, look, we are there, we can get there. And people are saying, look, compared to what Wenger did, There was this season when he was having the opportunity to win the league, and then on the platter he could have signed Suarez, and he went to that £40 million and £1 clause thing. That people are saying if he had signed Suarez that year, maybe Arsenal would have won the league. Arteta is strengthening. They lost Mudryk. They said, look, let us go to Trossard and get it there. Is Arsenal the real deal?
Yeah, Arsenal should have been the real deal, but unfortunately for any team, is to have a Man City breathing down your neck. They started it from the days of Mancini, where they overturned 8-point deficit, like 6 matches to go, and they took the league at the expense of Manchester United. They did it again to Liverpool. So the worst thing for anybody, what can put you under the most intense of pressure is to have Man City actually breathing down your neck. And should Man City win this afternoon, that deficit becomes 2. Before the Manchester game. Yes. So and depending on the result, because that result, the Man City result this afternoon will be a catalyst in that. Because again, for the Gunners, with due respect, they have a fabulous first 11. But what happens when the cycle of those first 11 is affected by the Man City Wolves result this afternoon? I think that will be the turning point for Arsenal today. Okay,
let's take Oji. Hello. We have Oji on the line, right here in Lagos.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Oji. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm okay. In fact, I love what you people are saying there. Believe me, that white man that said something very good. In Nigeria today, when we are playing in Plateau State, nobody recognizes us. But now, as I'm seeing it now, what she said is the proper thing, that if anybody that sends nice boys to play and practice, you will see we have beautiful boys, both in Plateau State, both in Imo State, both in Olu. But some of us did not go to that place and fish out the boys that can play to Nigerians and other places. You will see that we have the good players, even goalkeepers, but nobody fish them out. But what he's saying now, in fact, I love him what he said. That's why I called. Believe me. Have a nice day, because you people are doing very good.
Thank you, Oji.
I love your smiling. Your smiling is very good.
All right, thank you, Oji. Let's keep smiling. The times are hard, but let us brighten our home. Let me go to Mario. Mario, what happened to Bayern yesterday? I mean, we thought they were coming all smoking, but it wasn't so with RB Leipzig. What happened in Germany yesterday, Mario?
Well, Bayern just returned to the Bundesliga with not with a bang, not with the huge success expectation which we all anticipated. But Bayern again is the winner of the weekend, because the clubs who try to follow and catch Bayern, they don't. I mean, SC Freiburg was in second. They lost or got trashed 6-0 against Wolfsburg. A team on form from Niko Kovac, winning their 5th game in a row. Climbing from 14th in the table now to 6th in the table. So the Bundesliga came back with a big bang, and I hope Borussia Dortmund sort of can catch up. But yeah, it's shaking a little bit. Bayern got a point away to a very strong competitive team, because I mean, many people expect around Europe that RB Leipzig, Borussia Dortmund and Bayern are the only 3 teams aiming for the championship. But Bayern kept Leipzig at a distance. And Freiburg lost, who was second, and now it's for Dortmund to catch up. But yeah, Bundesliga is kind of decided.
Okay. All right, let's take Ruben. We have Ruben on the line. Hello, Ruben. How are you?
Fine. Good afternoon and happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday, Ruben.
Yeah, I was hoping you watched the return of the greats.
Go on. Which of the greats? Which of them? You started, Ruben. Which of the greats?
Ronaldo now. It's Ronaldo.
Okay. I won't say anything about that, because Omar is listening to you, so he will answer you whether Ronaldo is the great.
I'm ready for him too.
You're ready for Omar?
So no problem. Mr. Kepler, I want to really know if we have any, what is happening to our own football, as in our players, what is happening? We don't seem to know if there's any friendly coming and all that. So it's quite difficult. You see now we're watching Chan. nowhere. Nigeria is not represented anywhere. And somehow we will just keep reading on social media about this player, Pesero is looking after this. So it seems as if nothing is happening. So I really want to know what is happening to our boys and how, because of this issue about the coach talking about him not being paid and all that and all. So it seems we are lost, sort of, and it's not funny.
Yeah, well, thank you, Ruben. When it's a recurrent decimal, there is nothing you can do about it. And I don't think, not paying. We are still owing Raw. We are talking about Pesero. We are owing him. We are still owing Christian Chukwu. So what is his name? Keshi is dead. We are still owing the dead man. So what are we talking about? We've not paid the dead man. Talking about the living. Let we clear the backlog first. Now queue. Now it's turn by turn. We know when the time is right. We know how to pay those debts. Thank you, Ruben. Let me go to Omar. Thank you, Ruben. Omar, Ruben threw the jab there. He said we watch the great Ronaldo, the GOAT, and I know I said Omar will answer. Omar, and then Omar, I have me and you our own never come because the Manchester United will play Barcelona soon. I mean, you understand the two-header, so we'll come to that first. But it's like Barcelona is like they have edged Real Madrid this time around and moving on. Have Barcelona gone past the Messi mania? Have they gone past the Messi era, or are they still looking in nostalgia that one day this man will come back? Is it your good?
I think they are slowly getting out of it. It's difficult. We're talking about the greatest footballer of all time, in my opinion, and in the opinion of so many people. Even Kylian Mbappe said that it's difficult to reach Messi's level, or it's difficult to emulate Messi, because you cannot do that. Messi impacted Barcelona a great deal. With Messi, Barcelona won their highest number of trophies in their entire history. With Messi, they won more Champions League. With Messi, they became more famous. They became more respected, more feared around the world. And his numbers are incredible. It is difficult to really survive after his exit. But Barcelona is more than just a club. That is the club's motto. I can't say it in Spanish, I beg your pardon.
He can say it here. He can help you. Your brother can help you.
Meso on club.
Meso?
On club.
Meso on club. Okay. He is the Catalan. So.
Thank you. And it's a club with a great history. They have shown over the years that they've been able to survive. They had Rivaldo left, they had Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho. Even Ronaldo was there, he left. Some of the greatest players have graced the Camp Nou pitch, and Barcelona is the club with the highest number of players who have won the Ballon d'Or. That is how huge the club is and the history of this club is. But Messi seems to have come and have surpassed everything done by any player that has ever played for Barca, and seems to have created, things that may never be repeated. So that is difficult to overcome. However, you can see that Xavi and the club are slowly and steadily working out of that Messi era and trying to build something for the future. I'm very impressed with the fact that they've taken over the league, a league where you have Real Madrid, you have Atletico. Okay, Atletico currently are colorless, but Real Madrid are still there. This is the most successful team in the Champions League.
Okay.
So you must give credit to Xavi for being able to put together a team, getting players from here and there, and being able to create a team with some level of cohesion and understanding.
Okay.
Just hold it.
Omar, there is some pounding yeah waiting for us at Ekiti. Let's go to Ekiti. And eat some pounding yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go on.
Hello.
Yeah, you are on, Berani.
All right. Happy Sunday, and looking at the discussion ongoing, everybody don't understand that at the end of the 2022 World Cup, Messi has arrived as the GOAT of this millennium, so to put. So, Ronaldo, for now, has gone into retirement. But he said from a competitive competition, Man United of that
Okay.
How many countries, how many fans in the world watches Saudi Arabian League? So for me, with Messi playing an active match, with PSG that is still vying seriously for Champions League and still leading the French League One, it shows Messi Ronaldo has consented to his retirement.
Okay, do you watch the Ekiti League? And because I know the Ekiti FA, they are doing so much, you know, to revive football in Ekiti State. And it's one of the most vibrant FAs that we have in the country. Are you aware of what's going around you in Ekiti and probably in the capital there?
Yes, by the grace of God, the FA chairman, Mr. Bayo Olalente.
Oh, you know him. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I know very well. I know very well. He's been playing beautifully fine. Putting up so many activities, first Nigeria games, under 13 competitions. In Nigeria, putting up the free associations together. Also, the successful government for grassroots football development. We're doing that, and we are happy to have him representing us well at that status. And we hope to see him in time.
Benny, I'm glad you are following football in Ekiti State, and I hope that we will discover talents from there that will rival the best in the world. Thank you, Benny. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see where we are. Let us end from where we are starting from. Omar, let me come to you again. The focus is on Nigerian teams. The focus is on utilization of the power of the social media. What advice do you have for them, and how do you expect them to go about it professionally? I know Mario also will chip in, so that when I say, in summary, this is what we have achieved today.
Okay, I won't take much of our time so that Mario can also chip in, you know, his very professional thoughts. I think that first thing first, you must set up a team. You must invest, because social media is a lot of work. You must invest in setting up a team. You must invest in employing professionals. They don't have to know about football. They don't have to be involved in your local politics or involved in your local football activities. Getting people who understand social media, who understand how to use data to achieve results. People who can set goals and say, this is what we want to achieve on Twitter, this is what we want to achieve on Instagram, this is what we want to achieve on Facebook, and people who understand the character of the different social media platforms, because these social media platforms have different character, have different behaviors. So persons who understand how social media work, people who can set up a structure and then start to use social media to advance the club. You must set up a structure. I think that's the summary of it all. Set up a structure, invest in employing professionals. That's it.
Okay, Mario, let's hear after you. You've had Omar. What do you advise the Nigerian football clubs?
Omar is absolutely right in general from the structure. I would probably use five steps. First of all, the strategy. Have a strategy where you want to be in 2 years from now on social media, where your activities would like to be, on which platform. Secondly is resources. How knowledgeable are my resources? How many resources do I have? How do they understand the social media platform? Do they understand football? Do they talk fan language? Do they talk football language? Third one is obviously, if they don't have the knowledge of all these things named, they have to get training. I'm ready. I committed that already at the Godfather show on radio. I'm ready to teach those, because for 12 years, I'm working with athletes, clubs, leagues, and federations. I've been ghostwriting for Mesut Özil, growing his social media profiles. I've been ghostwriting many of the big stars and build their social media communities. Fourth one is processes. Because if you have a small team, how can they get pictures from everywhere? Because often the social media manager cannot travel with the team. So, and that's something which is very strange, because he needs to be close to everybody. He needs to build a relationship. Yes, exactly. He needs to build a relationship with the team, with the coach. He's like the inside seismograph. He's like, he knows what the fans want, he knows what the fans expect, and he gives that from the team. And it's not only focusing on results or training, it's much more than that, because social media will build you an audience, will build you a community of trust, who comes to your stadiums, who comes to your shows, who comes to the events. That's all of it. So it's there's a lot.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, guys. Thank you, the German contingent. I will come again. I will call on you guys. I will have this team. We'll monitor how far, if we have progress on what we have discussed today. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being part of the show. All right. Gentlemen, we are going.
Yeah, Ken, again, the social media thing, we can't leave out, there should be drafting of artists, Nollywood celebrities to these clubs, and I think we'll get it right.
Beautiful.
All right, everything you've said is actually very accurate, but I still feel that it starts with who is running the club. If you are running a club and you understand what you need for that club to grow, all of this should not be a problem. I really don't think it should be a problem.
All right, it shouldn't be a problem. And like I said, he had just said it. When you watch boxing, you will see footballers. When you watch football, you will see boxers over there. You see, the community. Davido, where are you? Burna Boy, where are you? Wizkid, all of you guys that are there, come and support NPFL. Iniedo, all the stars, Kate Enshaw, I'm Ken Ochonogo. Have a blessed Sunday.